Welcome, everybody. Hey, my name is Calvin Logan. Welcome to the Logan Power Show. I know it's a great pleasure. I thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a great show. This show is here to empower you and impact you. Today, we have one of our special guests today. I have my man here, one of the greatest chiropractors here in the Low Country. I got Dr. Thomas Taylor. Mr. Taylor, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. I'm glad to have you here in the show.
Absolutely.
Good. So, folks, like I said, Dr. Taylor is one of the best I know personally here. He is phenomenal. Okay, as you don't know, it's the Low Country Chiropractor Clinic. It's in Somerville. So definitely, hey, my Somerville people, Charleston, Orangeburg, Columbia, hey, come on down. Let's meet Dr. Taylor. So, Dr. Taylor, how long you been a chiropractor for, sir?
I've been a chiropractor for going on 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, right up in Somerville.
Gotcha. So what led you decide, I want to be, I decided, become a doctor, but I want to do chiropractor instead?
I think I've always known that I wanted to be a doctor very, very early on. My mom really worked in the hospital, so she always kind of took me around, and I was on that scene, and I really knew that that's something that I wanted to do, and just pursuing that career and on the path going through college and so forth to get to those steps. I came across chiropractic, and I've always had the belief that the body has just that natural ability to heal itself, and when I came across a profession that's what their main goal was, let's just get in there and remove interference and let the body heal itself, man, that just clicked for me.
Okay.
So I got with a chiropractor down in New Orleans, man, and went to school, and here we are to this day.
We are here.
Yeah.
So Alignment Specific Chiropractic Clinic.
Yeah.
You guys been here for how long? You been here for right
I've
now?
been in Somerville for 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. 2 years. That's
Just
good.
had our anniversary July 9th.
July 9th. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's exciting. It's exciting. So for the customers that mostly come around and say, hey, that come to you, is it all ages or a certain group that specifically are coming to you now?
Yeah, well, it is all ages. We see everything from infants. The youngest that I've seen is a week old. I just had a brand new baby, as you know.
Congratulations.
So thank you. I checked him the day he was born, man. So we see infants, we see kids, we see teenagers, elderly, men, women, everything.
Gotcha.
Everybody has a spine, and I need to make sure it's working properly.
You see that everybody has a spine. So like I said, Dr. Taylor, he's one of the best. He goes through a lot of education for you before he starts doing the work. I think that's one of the greatest things we know as a doctor. Like, please educate me, because remember, I'm no expert. I'm talking to the expert here. This is Dr. Taylor. He is the expert. So definitely, I'm gonna ask him a couple questions. I know people out here is gonna ask a couple questions. And you see in the screen, yeah, Dr. Taylor's information, how to contact him, and definitely, I want you to tweet us. Twitter, hit us up. Please do. The Logan Power Show. Hit me up. Facebook, The Logan Power Show. My name is Calvin Logan. Hey, ask me those questions. I will get it to Dr. Taylor for you so that you will get those answers answered for you on today's show. So one of the questions that I have, a lot of times, from my understanding, insurance, stuff like that. Why is it so difficult sometimes, you say, okay, for some jobs, say, okay, you only see the chiropractor 12 times within a year. And then from my experience, sometimes 12 times may not work for it. And like you think about, chiropractic stuff is not, you say cheap. It can be very expensive, but it also can be a need. Say someone got hurt, those type of things. Is there a way you think that for the future that the insurance companies are going to partner with you to make it that it's affordable for everybody to have that kind of need in their lives right now?
I think that some insurance companies are getting on the wave with chiropractic, and one thing about the chiropractic profession is that there's a lot of research that backs that if people start in a more preventative type of healthcare arena, right? That's where our healthcare is going on, to a more preventative arena. We've got the Affordable Health Care Act. There are going to be incentives for people to basically not get sick now, right? So some of the common conditions we deal with, diabetes, high blood pressure, low back injuries, neck injuries, all of those sorts of things are really preventative. So if we can get with someone who can help you prevent those things from happening, such as chiropractic, what it decreases our overall health costs, right? So then, people are out of work less, then we're having to pay less in premiums and insurance. So I think they're starting to get on the ball with that. And overall, it's very beneficial to our healthcare. But we got to remember that chiropractic is a preventative. Now, we do have some reactive type of stuff, and what I mean by that is if you get in an accident, some people come to a chiropractor. That's the only time people come to a chiropractor. But it's preventative, so we want to stop these issues before they happen. And insurance companies are starting to get on board with that. In terms of how can it be more affordable, well, we work with insurance companies, and people, we have options for people who don't have insurance. And not everybody has insurance, or not everybody has a plan that covers chiropractic in their insurance. So we do a great job at finding out what that person's individual needs are, meeting them where they are, and doing what we can do to help them, whether or not it's catering something specific to them, or helping them out with an incentive program, or whatever it is that we need to do. We want to get as many people checked in this country, in this city, in my town in Somerville, and then expand out. So we'll do whatever we can to make that happen.
I got you. Well, hold that thought.
Yeah.
Hey, we're about to go to a brief commercial. We'll be right back. Tune in. We'll be back in 1 second. Hey, we're back here at the Logan Power Show. My name is Calvin Logan. Hey, we're here again with Dr. Thomas Taylor. We had a phenomenal time. We've been talking about the importance of chiropractic. He was explaining to me that how this stuff has been beneficial to us, and how also it's being very affordable. Because a lot of people talk about, man, this can be very expensive. Chiropractic is not expensive. So a couple things I want to know about, because you think about kids with school. Mm-hmm. You think about I got my backpack. I got 80,000 books I put in there. What is some ways that I could help, say, for your child growing up to not have those back problems at such an early age, and the next thing you know, they're coming to see you at age of 25 instead of like later on the age?
You know what, Calvin, that's a very important thing, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Some things you could do, let's start off with that. Kids these days, some of the schools in this area don't even have lockers, right? So, I'm hearing word that these kids are carrying around these huge backpacks, they're piling books and stuff like that inside of them. And, to be honest with you, we're seeing, young kids, like you said, with low back issues, problems, and I'm seeing it in my office. One of the first things they could do is parents need to get out and get into the schools and go to the PTA meetings and all of this stuff and push to get these kids some lockers, right? Some better ways that they can, in between classes, put the books inside the lockers, get them off their backs. Some schools don't have, and it's not in the near future, to get lockers. So then what parents can do is get them one of those book sacks that roll, right? So we can get one of the, Walmart, Target, any one of those. And it might not be the coolest thing for the kids to do, but I tell you what, it's going to save the parents a lot of money in terms of, getting them treatment further down the line for back issues and back spasms and that sort of thing. And another thing that we're doing, we're implementing a new program. It's called Straighten Up America. And Straighten Up America was developed by a colleague of mine, Dr. Ron Kirk, down in Atlanta, Georgia. And basically what it is it is a morning startup program to get kids moving, get some stretches done to their back to really lengthen them out. We start to see postural changes in kids, with sitting at the desk for long periods of time, the text neck, right? Everybody's down in here. So what we want to do is get them up, get them moving. We're piloting that program in a couple schools in Somerville right now. So we look to see some really great things coming with that. So those kind of things hand in hand, waking up, doing some stretches in the morning, lengthen the back, get it moving, and getting some of those books off their back is going to be beneficial to keep them out of my office so early. That doesn't mean I don't want to see them and check them, but, hey, that's some things they can do.
Gotcha. We got my back straightened up. You see my back's getting taller. I'm getting bigger now because Dr. Taylor's telling me how to get my posture together. Now, for those who don't know, yes, I've been in the military now. I'm going on my 12th year. I was in the Marine Corps first for 8 years, and now I'm in the Air Force Reserve. So a lot of times you talk about posture. The military does teach you about keeping your back straight, things like that. But there's a lot of things that can be hurtful too. Carrying the big heavy packs. We carry stuff, but it's also about keeping stuff tight and keep it every cinched in. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned is that for me, people, my mom said, like, don't hunch your back over. The military teaches you keep your back straight. Everything, you're marching, all that kind of good things. So I think for you, I think it's a very good thing. Now, another thing that I want to know is that you talk about stretching. Now, is exercise another preventive maintenance that can prevent the lower back problems that people are having. Like, you know, you see a lot of people say, man, my back's hurting. Is exercise essential so they don't have to come on a frequent basis to get the chiropractor?
Well, it's a multi-question thing. First of all, exercise is essential completely to the human body. We, as human beings, are not meant to be sedentary creatures, right? We're not meant to sit in chairs behind computer screens and desks all day. We're meant to move, we're meant to walk, get upstairs, all of those sorts of things. So exercise is completely essential. And, you know, some people will tell you, you know, sometimes 30 minutes a day, or, you know, you just want to move, right? That's where we need to start, right? Because some people are just not moving.
Gotcha.
So exercise is completely beneficial. How can it help your back? It can absolutely help your back. One of the things you talked about is watching your posture, hunching over, you know, tightening everything up, getting the core strong. All of those are important things to help prevent the low back from changing its overall structure, which causes some of the misalignments that we see on a daily basis. So that's very, very important. Exercise is crucial.
Definitely is crucial. Hey, but I know this right now. We got to get another commercial break in. We'll tune back in, give us about 1 second or so. We'll be back in the next 30 seconds. Hey, we are back here at the Logan Power Show. My name is Calvin Logan. I am here with the dynamic Mr. Dr. Thomas Taylor in the building. So one thing I know we were talking about during the commercial time, some things that he was mentioning about a vaccination situation, something we need to be aware about in our community. Now, Dr. Taylor, like, you know, for me, I'm not fully, this is what I first known about. So if you can explain to our viewers, what is it you are so passionate about right now so the people can be aware of right now?
Okay, well, one of the things that I'm really passionate about, and this is something that's relatively new, it just came out. Many of you have been watching the news, and this is really, really big. Right now, there's been a whistleblower. This is a former scientist who worked for the CDC, and he was instrumental in the development of the MMR vaccine. The MMR vaccine is also known as measles, mumps, and rubella. That's a vaccine that's administered to children before the age of 2 years old. And the issue with that is that there was some information that was left out, right?
Okay.
So we can do these scientific studies, publish them in journals, and we want to get a vaccine pushed through, right? We just leave out the data that you don't want everybody to see, right? And that's the problem. There was some very, very important data that was left out of the final report that was published in the journal.
Gotcha.
And this guy really came forward, this doctor that was instrumental in that production of that vaccine came forward. He just could not live with himself with the results and the things that he was seeing in populations and kids and so forth and so on. And he came out and he spoke out against it.
Gotcha. Now, this is something new for me because, you know, me, I never, you know, you hear about Ebola that's going around. That's a big, huge, you know, phenomenon right now. It's huge in the community. But this right here, measles, mumps, you know, my son, like for those who know, he's 10 months old, premature. But like I said, you know, I thank God for what God has done for him in his life. He's healthy. But for me, he'll be 1 in October. Yeah. You know, and you talking about under 2, and I think about, you know, my kids, a daughter that's 7, a son who's also 4. So I have 3 kids, and I take care of kids. Also, I help out the best way possible. So for me, you see that, you know, this is something that you rarely get for kids under 2. So how is it that, since it's now out in the open, what do you think doctors need to do now? What is a parent? What do we need to do so that this does not affect our children?
Yeah, I think the first steps that we need to do is kind of what I want to say is what are some of the effects, right, of the vaccine and why a vaccine's in there. And without having a vaccine talk, man, because I could talk to you all day about this. But the main reason why we do vaccines in this country is because we want to prevent certain types of illnesses from making a major reoccurrence, right? We want to instill immunity, right, to those things, right? Immunity, our body comes in contact with something, it builds up an immunity to it, and then if you come across it later in life, then your body knows how to fight it, okay? So what we want to do is we want to get that in kids. Let's say polio, for example. Polio is a extremely terrible illness that kids got. It leaves them disfigured and multiple other musculoskeletal issues with that. So the vaccine is an attempt to stop that from occurring again. Now, the issue with that is it is a false immunity, right, or artificial immunity. The best immunity we have is natural immunity, and that comes from mom to kid, right?
Gotcha.
The good old-fashioned breast milk. It has everything that child needs to develop and help him build his own immune system. There are things they're going to come across in life, and they're going to get immune to it, right? Like chicken pox,
Gotcha.
right? They come across chicken pox, they get chicken pox, and then they get over it,
Sure.
and they move forward. Now, with the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, or the MMR, it's intended, again, as artificial immunity to prevent against those disorders, measles, mumps, and rubella. The issue is that there are communities, specifically in the African American community, that this vaccine has been proven to be deadly against.
Okay.
It's deadly. Not only is it deadly, but there's a higher prevalence of the neurosocial disorders, autism, Asperger's, some of the things that are leaving kids, completely disabled to this point. And there's a higher prevalence, almost a 340% higher incidence of that happening in the African American Black community, as opposed to other communities that had that measles, mumps, rubella vaccine. That information was deleted from the report.
Wow.
Completely deleted. So that's what we want to do. We want to bring awareness, people. And what I suggest that you do is don't just rely on your doctor or your healthcare provider to be your main source of information.
Sure.
Because they go off of what they know, what they've been taught, and kind of what they're being issued to push, right?
Sure.
And if they see that study and it doesn't have that info, well, then it's safe, right?
Gotcha.
But what you don't know is that if there was something omitted from that study, then you don't know,
Gotcha.
and people don't know. So you have to do the research. You have to make informed decisions. There are great books. There are all types of websites out there that will give you the information that you need to know, so you can make an informed decision as a parent whether or not this is something that you want to do for your child or not. Does that mean that just because you get that vaccine, your child is going to develop autism, Asperger's, or any one of those disorders? No, it absolutely doesn't. But you have to determine whether or not you're willing to take that risk in that happening.
That is a great question to ask. And like for those, I'm telling you right now, please hit me up on Facebook, The Logan Power Show. You can contact me, theloganpowershow@gmail.com. That will be on the screen along with our Twitter. Please, so we can forward these questions over to Dr. Taylor so we can have those answered. We're not trying to scare you in any way possible. We just want to be informed. Absolutely. As a parent. I'm a parent myself. I'm a teacher also. I'm an advocate for helping people. So we're not trying to scare you. We're trying to empower you. The biggest thing is, like I say, you got to do the works. Without works, it's pretty much dead. Knowledge is power. But with knowledge, you come with responsibility. So for us right now, we are trying to inform you that, hey, we have some great people here in the building. Dr. Taylor is one of the best here in the Low Country. So I would suggest for you and for everyone else, hey, why don't you stop in, get a consultation. Tell Dr. Taylor, say, hey, I watched the show, The Logan Power Show. Hey, Calvin Logan informed me about you. Hey, tell me about what I can do to get better. So for us here at the Logan Power Show, we personally want to thank Dr. Taylor for coming into the building and helping us out. Like I said, he'll be back again now. He will be back, because I know you have a lot of questions to ask him. I know I do too. I know this is going to be a great show for us all. Thanks again for tuning in at the Logan Power Show. My name is Calvin Logan. We're here to empower you. Have a great day. Hope to hear from you soon, and tune in for next week's show.